Welcome to our second show. I'm Tony, this Pops. We got a jam-packed show today. We just finished the Timberwolves and the Nuggets game. Timberwolves win 112 to 96. Ant-Man went out with an injury. Dante went out with an injury. And they still was able to beat the Nuggets because Ayo dropped 40. He from Chicago, you know that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, Ayo, the Bulls trading on the Bulls
Yeah,
crazy.
that's what I was about to say. Play for the Bulls, yeah.
Man, Bull's crazy. For Rob Dillingham, I think Rob Dillingham nice, but man, that turned out to be a mistake. But Jokic
You know
shot.
it happens.
What'd you say?
You know it happens. Just like with Shea, the Clippers had him, so
Yeah, that was a good pickup for the Timberwolves. But
yeah.
Jokic shot 8 for 22, 24 points. Rudy Gobert been having him in a straitjacket. You gotta give him his credit. So, do you think Jokic been underachieving, or is it something the Timberwolves doing, or what you like about what the Timberwolves been doing to slow down Jokic?
I say it's a little bit of both, you know. It's a little bit of Joker being satisfied. He has won multiple MVPs, and like you said, Rudy is putting him in a straitjacket. Rudy is playing defensive player of the year type defense. So it's a little bit of both. Uh, they had their run, and I didn't see this happening, but their run is over. But yeah, we gotta give Minnesota their props. Like you said, Ant Man went down. A couple other guys, had some injuries or whatever, and they still were able to pull this off. So yeah, I just think they had their run.
Yeah. Dante DiVincenzo tore his Achilles in the first quarter. He a big piece to what they be doing. But yeah, I agree with you. We gotta give Rudy his credit because Jokic usually have his way with him. But for some reason this series, he been making it very tough on him.
Yeah, he's been hearing he's been hearing the noise just like we've been hearing the noise. So he's stepping up to the plate.
Yeah. Rudy, he got 4 defensive players of the year, but everybody vote him the most overrated player. His offense, he really ain't gonna give you much on offense, but what he
How
been.
can you vote the most? Defensive player of the year, the most overrated player. That doesn't make any sense at all.
I think they don't be thinking he deserves it. I think that's what they be trying to lean towards. Like the players. The players be voting that the play, his peers be voting him the most overrated player. But I think this series he proven that he's a great defender. He
Yeah.
shocked me. He's surprising me. I'm not gonna lie, but this is what I've been saying about Jokic. People be giving him a pass. How is this man supposed to be this great? I just don't feel like you can be the best player in the world and you can't play defense at all. You can't be horrible on half of the game. Defense is half of the game. You horrible half of the game, and you the best player in the world. I mean, you the center, and every time they go to the hole is a layup line because you're not even contesting shots. He defended like how James Harden used to defend. Probably just swipe his arm, but he ain't trying to stop nobody from doing nothing. And I'm just like, man, this is bad. Like Jokic is a big reason why they losing because he's not shooting well and he's not playing defense. You can't give it to us both ways like that. You gotta choose one. Either you're gonna be bad on defense or be great on offense, but you're not gonna be bad on both. So now they down 3-1, and if Ant Man come back, I can see them losing in 5.
Uh. Yeah. And man, well, we got to see how see how this injury is.
Yeah,
But
he hurt his knee again. He re-hurt his knee. He was just out for a little while with that knee injury, and he just
right, yeah. They may just, if I was the Timberwolves, I probably would sit them out, having a
one
3-1
game.
lead. Yeah, and man, I probably would sit them out having a 3-1 lead, and bring them back with a 3-2 lead.
Yeah, because they probably lose the next game without him because they
Right.
played well without him today, but the offense was kind of stalling out at the end. Where I'm like, man, they kind of need that score. But Ayo DeSumo, he stepped up big. He was hitting some clutch shots because they needed it. But Jamal Murray ain't been shooting well either. He had 30 points, but it took him 25 shots. He was 10 for 25. He been inefficient. So The Temple was really locking them up, and they called them out. Jaden McDaniels told them like they can't play defense, and then he went out there and backed it up. And them people just letting them do it. I'm like, man, Jokic supposed to be a pantheon great. How you letting them roll over you like that? You think somebody call out Mike, Kobe, LeBron like that? That just gonna happen?
Nah, not at all.
That's not happening. But people be like, he probably the best center all time, man. So you telling me if he's struggling with Rudy, what you think will happen if he playing against a Shaq, a Hakeem, somebody like that, David Robinson?
Oh, he was just to be another guy in those days. He wouldn't be, who he is today. So we're not gonna even put that type of pressure on him.
People already said like my Rudy, Rudy. Rudy say he the best center all time.
Defensively, I can't even give him that. He probably top five, center defensively. Definitely nowhere in the top 20 offensively. So no, he's just hallucinating, with that statement right there.
Yeah, defensively he probably top 1,000. Jokic don't play a lick of defense. Rudy, like my cousin Rudy, he was telling, people be saying Jokic the best center all time.
Oh, nah, come on now, man.
They be saying,
Yeah,
they be
he's the
saying
best center of all time.
one championship. When I post our videos, people be in the comments all the time defending Jokic. And
Come on, man. That dude was just a basic player. I mean, there's nothing exciting about him. He's just a mediocre player in my opinion, man. So nah, he's not. Nah, come on now.
he's
You
is a
got to take everything into account. I understand. He's good with the fundamentals. He's good. Passing the ball or whatever. But you have to take everything into account, man. Athleticism, excitement, ticket sales. You know, making your teammates better. He does that, but it's just more to the game than what he brings, man.
Yeah, I agree. He abandoning the whole half of the game. He's not playing no defense.
He's better than Shaquille O'Neal. He's better than Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. He's better than Hakeem Olajuwon. You know,
There's a group of people out there that will argue. That's why I've been bringing that question up. Like, how can this guy be considered the greatest when he's only been out of the conference one time?
I would put him in the top 15.
Yeah, they talking about if he get another ring, they'll put him in the top 10 players all time.
Just so boring. It's just nothing to it to me. It's like I can get out there and do that if I was his height. And body size. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
He's not doing anything somebody his size should be able to do. You know, things that Hakeem Olajuwon was doing at that size. Every person that size can't do what he was doing at that time. Everything Shaquille O'Neal was doing, people can't do that.
yeah,
Everything that you know, what's his name, Abdul Jabbar, brought to the game. People his size just can't go out there and do that. It seems like anybody Joker size to go out there and do what he does, man. Come on, man. It's just real simple.
and Jokic is not playing in the era of centers. There's not a lot of good centers playing right now, so he got that to his advantage. He got Wemby, but Wemby young. He just came along, and you got Joel Embiid, but Joel Embiid always hurt. So besides them two, he ain't got no competition for real. Well, back then when them guys was playing, it was Shaq, Hakeem, David Robinson. They was loaded
Yeah, I
for
forgot about David Robinson. I didn't even mention him.
yeah.
Or Patrick Ewing. It was just a bunch of guys out there that I would put over Joker.
And like I tell people I like Jokic. I think he's a great player, but I just think y'all overselling it. Y'all trying to make him
Yeah,
something
most
it's
definitely,
not. He's a
most
great
definitely.
player. Don't get me wrong. He's a great player, but like when y'all start talking about the greatest, y'all losing me. Y'all losing me. He can't be the greatest. He only got one ring. He don't play no defense. How?
To me, he's a second-rate version of Tim Duncan. Big fundamentals.
And
You
at
know what
least
I mean?
yeah, but at least Timmy D played the other end of the flow as well.
Right. That's who it reminds me of. A
Yeah,
slower Tim Duncan. Just has those. He's great at fundamental basketball. You know, I'll
yeah.
give him that. That's what he reminds me of. So yeah, he is a great player. you know. So, but he's not the greatest. Come on now, y'all got to stop that. Cut it out.
Yeah, he's not. That's I agree. But we gonna switch to the Lakers game. Lakers just went up 3-0 on the Houston Rockets. They won 112-108. KD missed the game 3. You know he missed game 1. I ain't like the fact that he missed game 1. I hate it even more that he missed game 3. You down 2-0 and you gonna miss game 3? But you know, he been catching a lot of heat because a lot of people been saying you shouldn't lose to a 41-year-old LeBron. He was ducking that action. I'm not gonna lie. I feel like he was ducking that smoke. So do you feel like KD quit on his team?
Well, from what I hear, he had some type of burner where he was shit. I mean, throwing his team under the bus.
Yeah, I heard about that
You
too.
know, if that's true, then yeah, I feel like he quit on the team. If he have those sentiments about his teammates, yeah, I think he quit on them. And like I said, hopefully him, LeBron, Curry, and a few of the other older guys can get together, whether it be in New York, Los Angeles, Chicago, or Golden State. They get together and take on the young guys in the NBA. So, you know, I just hope they close out their career like that. Yeah, I think KD he won't be in Houston next year.
Yeah. I feel like they got the Houston. It's crazy because Houston got worse adding KD. They was better last year. And it's like they say he hurt his knee in practice, but I'm just like, man, you gotta play through that. This the playoffs, man. This the playoffs. I feel like I thought KD was better than LeBron right now. I thought a 37-year-old KD was better than 41-year-old LeBron. But I was wrong.
No, he's not in better shape than LeBron. I was watching KD the other day, and the way he was moving, I was like, yeah, I could see the age in him. He's not in better shape than LeBron. That's what that is.
Yeah, I agree. He's not in better shape than LeBron. I'm impressed with LeBron though. I got to give him his credit. I'm impressed with LeBron. He's still showing you he can lead a little team. Now he might can't lead them to the championship, but he can win you around. Now it'll be interesting to see what they do against OKC next round. I'm gonna still pick OKC even if the Lakers healthy though. I know you seen what Shea did today. That man had 42, missed 3 shots, went 15
Yeah,
15.
yeah, they're you know better than the Lakers right now. Plus, their superstars are younger. So I give the Lakers six. They should be able to take them to six.
6.
Yeah, because LeBron is gonna have to put in more. Going up against OKC. So I give them six.
The
You
thing
know,
about playing the Thunder with LeBron though is the Thunder like to run. The question
right?
is
Yeah,
LeBron keep up with that pace because the Thunder
yeah.
like to get out in transition. Well,
And
like
I know, and I seen one team, do that with the Lakers. They just kept running, kept running. That kind of like took LeBron out of the game.
yeah. And then when Luca come back, Luca complained to the ref. So by the time he get through talking to the ref, the Lakers gonna be taking the ball out the net because the Thunder's gonna be pushing it. They're gonna be laying it up while he arguing with the refs. I just think the Thunder's gonna be a bad matchup for the Lakers. But I said I'd rather see the Lakers versus the Thunder rather than the Rockets because I'm like KD can't even break the Lakers double team. I know he's not gonna be able to break the Thunder double team.
Yeah, just look how he moving. He's not himself. So we just can't expect that out of KD right now in his career. He had that Achilles injury too late in his career, I believe.
Yeah. And then LeBron hit that game time shot to send it to overtime. That was big. And I don't know why Marcus Smart then turned to somebody else. He been balling this series. I'm like,
In
man,
terms of somebody else.
yeah. The game before last, game 2, he was out there looking like Steph Curry. He was. But yeah, and I think this series really showing that LeBron is a way better leader than KD. Like the way he can galvanize the troops, like his teammates follow his lead. Where the Rockets, they don't follow KD lead. I'm watching KD call for the ball, and somebody just go and get right in their own bag, do what they want to do, and go miss a shot. Well, when LeBron tell them guys, I was watching Marcus Smart bring the ball up the court. LeBron told him slow it down. He slowed it down. Well, with KD ain't got that type of command over his team. Like his team, they just doing what they want to do. I'm like, man, y'all don't see y'all got KD out here. Y'all trying to get y'all name right. That's not even y'all game. Y'all pulling out every trick in y'all bag, missing shots. Like, but KD not a leader. He
You
supposed to
also
boys.
you also got to put some of that on the coach too. He's supposed to
Yep.
tell those younger players, hey, y'all follow KD Lee, what he say goes out there on the court.
Yeah,
You know,
man, y'all got too much dip on y'all chip out here, man. Y'all out here. Who y'all think y'all is? And another thing, KD study turning the ball over in the double team because they ain't got no point guard. But why y'all study making KD bring the ball up? Let somebody else bring the ball up and let KD go get to his spot. Cause they trying to make him play like LeBron. That's not his game.
right.
Let KD get to his spot. Let somebody else bring the ball up and get a ball to KD in the spot he wanted in. I don't know why the
Right.
coach ain't making them changes. Like it's the playoffs. You see it ain't working, change it. But they gonna probably get swept because I don't even think KD probably don't even want to come back next game because he probably don't want that attached to his name.
You don't think you want to come back?
He ain't gonna come back. I guarantee you, KD probably missed game 4.
Damn.
Lakers gonna sweep him. And I remember we picked the Rockets. So they got us looking crazy up here. We both said we don't know how the Lakers gonna do it, but we overestimated the Rockets, and we
Yeah, I put too much stock into Kevin Durant too.
yeah
I thought, like you said, he's younger than LeBron. He got a young team behind him.
yeah
I just thought KD was gonna come out and do his thing, but obviously he's injured. And like I said, he had that Achilles injury late in his career, and all of that plays a factor at this age in his career. So we just put too much stock into KD. But at the same time, LeBron is older than him, man, showing us that that's not an excuse.
it ain't. And I like I said, KD. I thought KD was better than LeBron right now at 37 because LeBron 41, and KD has the better supporting cast. Now the Rockets supporting cast not that good either, but they better than what the Lakers working with right now. So I'm like, okay, KD got the advantage. But LeBron showed me like, man, KD ain't never been better than LeBron at no point in their careers. Not when they was young, not when they was in their prime, not when they old now. LeBron's still better than him. It's crazy.
Man, that's crazy, yeah, because I thought KD would have took over, at least 7 years ago.
Man.
You know,
He just can't do what LeBron do. And I'm not even no big LeBron fan, but I've grown to start appreciate LeBron more because I'm a Kobe fan. But like, man, KD will make you appreciate what LeBron do. Watching
yeah,
KD,
yeah,
man, KD, what you be doing, man? Like, he had some good teams that he underachieved with. He won one playoff series since 2021, and you Kevin Durant, that can't be happening.
yeah. I can see KD probably retiring, man, at 3 more years.
Yeah, what they is 40,
Yeah,
maybe. But I do think he'll try to play as long as he can. KD love the game. He
yeah,
love.
but his body is breaking down
Yeah, he might well. I don't know why he left the Warriors. You should have just stayed. He.
because of the noise. Everybody talking about, he can't win without them. He only went there, because of, this, that, and the other, and he had to prove to everybody else that, hey, that's not the reason why I went there. I can go out here and win one on my own. You know,
And he's still been searching ever since.
yeah, I think he had a good chance in Brooklyn. When he had Kyrie and Harden. It just didn't work out, but that was one of his best chances to win, along with what he did in Golden State. He had an equal chance, in my opinion.
Yeah, Brooklyn. He was the best. He was looking like the best player in the world when he was in Brooklyn. But like you said,
But then he had Kyrie and Harden with him, just like he had Steph and Clay with him.
yeah, Kyrie got hurt. Harden got hurt, and then they tried to force Harden to come back. But I felt like Harden was doing more damage than good that series against the Bucks because he was hurt. But yeah, Wemby, Wemby had got concussed. He had missed game 3, but they won without him 121-08. But the injuries, it's like every time you look up, Wemby injured. He got something, leg, ribs. And the man didn't hit his head. The man arm super long. Like how you let your head hit the floor? Like every time you look up, he hurt. Every time you talk about his potential is if he's healthy. So, with that being said, should the Spurs be concerned about Wemby long-term health moving forward?
No, all he has to do is get in the gym and strengthen up. He's a very tall and long guy, so he's gonna fall a lot. That's why I say, he have to strengthen his body, strengthen his bones, drink milk or something, get some calcium in him, strengthen his bones, because he's gonna fall a lot because he's so long, But yeah, this I would be concerned though because he's gonna fall a lot, And I hope he. It seemed like he's in a weight room. Seemed like he toned up a little bit, from when he first got into the league until now, But yeah, man, that was an awkward fall when he hit his head. Like I said, you got to know how to fall. That's what
Yeah,
Allen Iverson was good at. That's what Dwayne Wade was good at, and even Steph Curry. You got to know how to fall to protect yourself. And right now he's just not good at that either. Yeah, like you said, he hit his head and come on, man, you got to know how to fall.
yeah. I'm not gonna lie. I'll be a little concerned because, like I said, every time you look up, he hurt. But when he's healthy, he's a problem. I think maybe next year, years moving forward, he's gonna be the best player in the world. Cause like you can't teach that. The man 7'4", can dribble, shooting threes. It ain't really nothing he can't do on the floor. But it's just like he fragile. But he's so thin, he's so tall like KD. He gonna have to be in that gym strengthening his bones, legs, arms, because he's so tall. He a big target. Like you said, the bigger they are, the harder they fall. Cause he fell hard. I ain't seen that watching basketball.
That was ugly, man.
How many concussions you see? How many people you see go in concussion protocol in basketball? Like, you don't see that too often. But everybody was talking about the Trailblazers. The Spurs gonna lose without the Trailblazers. I said, man, the Spurs got a good team, even without Wemby. I knew they was gonna beat the Trailblazers. Like they still got D Fox, Stephon Castle, Vassell. They got a nice team. Even Dylan Harper, 27, he had 27. Stephon Castle had 33. Fox had 18. Cornette had 14. Vassell had 11. They got a good team. And I don't even
Yeah,
think
they
the
got
Trailblazers got enough firepower to beat the boys.
exactly. They got a hell of a young team. They should be able to win that series without Wemby, if you ask me.
I agree. They should be able to win that series without Wemby. All the number ones and number two picks they done got over the last couple
You
of
know,
years. All these players they've been picking high in the first round because the Spurs been silently tanking too. They've been tanking on the low key side too.
yeah,
But
they go
don't nobody say nothing because it's the Spurs.
exactly.
But yeah, I hope Wemby can stay healthy though, because he can be an all time great if he can stay healthy. I was talking to somebody today. They talking about we'll never see another Kevin Durant. I said, shoot, we seeing the upgraded version right now. Kevin Durant, what,
Yeah,
7 foot? Wemby 7'4", can do everything he can do.
yeah, but I think he
And
probably
he's a
handled
better
the ball.
defender. I'm like,
He, and he probably handled the ball a little better than Kevin Durant. He's more crafty with the
yeah,
ball.
that man,
Yeah, he could dribble like a
just
guard.
to be seven, yeah, to dribble like guard, to be 7'4", to dribble like that, and to move like that. And some people be
Exactly.
like, well, he's 7'4". I'm be like, shoot, Bobo was 7'4". He wasn't moving like that. It was
Exactly.
another guy in the league too. Wemby also won a Defensive Player of the Year. He got unanimous. I think he can win that award for the next few years, really. As long as he's healthy, ain't nobody winning that award over him.
Yeah, I think he's gonna be in contention for the next 10 years. His name gonna be mentioned in that for the next 10 years.
Yeah,
Rudy is this competition. One of the Thompson's brothers in Houston. I think that's would be his competition. Uh, who else? Is a great defensive player. Will be considered a great defensive.
he's by far the best defender in the league. Like I don't even know. Besides Rudy and the Thompson kid, both of them could defend. But if
Yeah,
they gonna defend on a high enough level to win the Defensive Player of the Year, but the Knicks tied the series today 114-98, beating the Hawks. Now the series tied 2-2. Man, the Knicks, I ain't gonna lie, I thought the Knicks gonna beat the Hawks in 5. But the Hawks surprising me though, but I think I probably thought the Knicks was better than what they actually are. The Knicks not a great team. They're a good team. They're a team that can be had. They can beat a lot of teams, but a lot of teams can beat them too. Like I think they could beat anybody in the East except for Boston, but I think anybody in the East can really beat them too. And I think that's the problem the Knicks have. You think the Knicks gonna win this series, or you got the Hawks?
Yeah, I think it's going seven, and I think the Knicks are gonna pull it out. You know, due to experience. Everybody talk crap about Tom Thibodeau and how he ran the players into the ground or whatever. But the players responded. In times like this. I'm not saying anything bad about Mike Brown, but it seemed like they don't have that same response for Mike Brown that they had for Thibodeau. What I mean? Yeah, I think they're gonna win this series in seven. And be so wore down that they're gonna get bounced in the second round. But yeah, man, I was telling folks, Atlanta got some young players. They're tall, what I mean, and they're gonna cause problems. Uh, they're smothering Brunson. They're putting the clamps on Bridges. And they just got a young team, and they're all long. They all, got height on them. And they got a good game plan, and they just been executing, and they just surprised me, man. I knew it was gonna be a good series, but I didn't think Atlanta was gonna come out and do this right here, especially without Trey Young. Now you said it seemed like a team is better without a player. It seemed like Atlanta is way better without Trey Young. This look like a totally different team. This team reminds me of a up and coming, you know, probably Detroit or OKC. That's what the Atlanta Hawks remind me of. They're going to be one of those type of teams, you know, next year and beyond.
Yeah, I was surprised they was actually better without Trey Young too, because they basically traded him for a pack of gum. But they got CJ back, and CJ then had a resurgence. Like I'm like, man, I didn't even know CJ McCollum could still hoop like this. He looking like
Yeah,
he from his Blazer days.
yeah,
But like you said, Mikal Bridges, that man had a donut the other day. That man had 0 points. I ain't
yeah,
know, man, what happened to Mikal Bridges?
exactly. They
Thought he was better than that. He had 8 points a day.
all he had was eight today.
He had eight today. They didn't gave up 5 first round picks for that man.
Damn, they got the
And it's
win
just
though. That's
like,
I
but
guess that's all that matters. But he got to give them more than that, man. Come on now. Then he gave up a lot.
but it don't look like he playing confident basketball. When I watch him play, it kind of look like he's not confident in his shot. He's not confident in his game and his moves. The Knicks lose in this first round, it's gonna be some changes. They gonna rearrange that whole team, and I think Mikal Bridges is gonna be one of the first ones to go.
Yeah, him and Mike Brown.
Yeah, him and Mike Brown. You can't lose him. I don't know what. I don't agree with Tom Thibodeau coaching either. Sometimes I feel like he just play players too much. Like I'll be watching games, the Knicks be up 20, 25. He still got starters in there. But you can't deny that they overachieved last year. Ain't nobody had them beating the Celtics last year, and they end up beating
Exactly.
that team.
Exactly.
And now you in a dog fight with the Atlanta Hawks. Shout out to the Atlanta Hawks, but man, Atlanta Hawks, they like you said, they still on the come up. The Knicks supposed to have already arrived. Like supposed to be getting ready for Boston for real. This supposed to be a 5 game series, getting ready for Boston. I don't think nobody in the East can beat Boston. I thought Detroit would get them a battle, but Detroit struggling with the Magic. They might lose that series. So I don't think nobody in the East can beat Boston. Boston to the finals.
Well, we can't count out Cleveland.
Cleveland.
Yeah.
I don't know, man, about Cleveland. They're a nice team, but I don't love Cleveland. And they lost.
But right now, I would take them over New York. I would take them over I don't know, maybe slightly over Detroit. To go against Boston in the conference finals.
East Conference final. But
Yeah.
The Raptors just beat them boys by 20. The 20 piece on them the
That
other day.
was one game.
It is one game. You know, I got Cleveland winning though in like five, maybe six. I just don't.
Yeah, six. It's gonna go six.
Yeah, six. I can see six.
Uh-huh.
The thing when Cleveland go to play the Celtics is James Harden gonna show up.
I believe he is.
You-
This is the year for James Harden to show and prove right here, and I think he's gonna show up. Because he got a guy that's with him where uh he knows he can depend on Spider or whatever, and it's not a competition thing. Saying like with Kyrie Irving, it was a
Yeah,
competition about the point guard position. You know what I mean?
yeah,
And at that time, James Harden was coming off being one of the top scorers in the league. One of the top performers, one of the top point guards. So he had that issue with Kevin Durant. But now I think he's a much older player now, and I think this year you're going to see a different James Harden.
it
If
sounds.
it comes to, they're in the conference finals and they need him to play, I think you're going to see a different James Harden this year.
It sound like you picking Cleveland to give the Celtics a run for their money, huh?
Yeah, I can see that going 6 or 7.
Seven.
Uh huh.
I see it going six. But Cleveland gonna have to beat the Magic or Detroit next round. They got to get through that round.
Yeah, that'd be tough too, cause Ben Caro, he's a load, you
Yeah,
know.
and they got Wagner over there too.
Yeah,
His
man, yeah.
Desmond Bain. So
But
Orlando got some ballers. And
Detroit got Cunningham and Duran, and that'd be a tough matchup too. I think it's just crazy. I think they have a better chance against Detroit than they will have against Orlando. You know,
I do too. I do too. Because Detroit really got one player. If you
over there.
The Pistons rely too much on Cade. They got Jalen Duren, but he's really like a hustle player. So it's like in the regular season, he can get good numbers because he can just outwork everybody and play harder than everybody. But in the playoffs, everybody playing hard. So it's kind of hard for him to still do what he was doing in the regular season because he ain't got no post moves. You can't just throw it to him in the post like, hey, go get a bucket. He
Right.
he the guy that get the ball off the rim and dunk it. He running the flow. But now in the playoffs, everybody playing hard. So it's kind of neutralizing him. He had 8 points, 3 for 10.
He got to show up though.
He got to
It's,
show
it's the
up.
playoffs.
He's a hard worker, but everybody working hard in the playoffs.
Exactly.
So Cade 27, he had 27, 8 for 23 though. He got to shoot better. He can. Then Carroll had 25, but he shot 6 for 17. Wagner had 17, 7 for 18. Desmond Bain had 25, 9 for 18. Jalen Slugs gave him 15. See, the Magic got some hoopers. See, did you see the draft? What you think about Mendoza? You think he gonna change the Raiders' future?
Uh, I gotta go back and watch some of his games. I don't know much about him, so I can't really say.
Yeah,
But for them to draft this man number one, you know, he better. But I can't put that type of pressure on him because we've seen number one picks that turned out to be flops. So yeah, we'll see. I'm gonna go back and watch some of his games to see. You
yeah.
know,
The organization matter in the NFL and with the quarterbacks. As we just seen that with Sam Darnold. We thought he
yeah.
was trash. Whole time Sam Darnold actually could play. He showed
Uh-huh.
us he could play with the Vikings. Showed you he could play with the Seahawks. So,
It all depends on what they put around him.
I just hope the Bears do well this year. Thank you.
And I better hope the Bears stay in Chicago, man. Now they're not staying in Chicago. We already know that. So we better hope they go down there to Arlington Heights.
Yeah, I'm just hoping they stay close. I'm already mad that they leave. Like,
They want to develop some stuff, but all Chicago had to do is offer them, a bunch of land like the Michael Reese site or whatever, or do something with McCormick Place. You know what I mean? But I think they're definitely leaving Chicago, and it's a good chance they go to Indiana. But got to hold out hope for the Arlington Heights. At least they'll still be, 40 minutes out of Chicago. 30 minutes from Chicago. I can't believe they're gonna leave Soldier Field, man.
They really trying to get a Super Bowl here. They want to host a Super Bowl. But around the Super Bowl, it's gonna be cold. Don't nobody want to be in the cold, so it's gonna be hard for them to get a Super Bowl anyway. So I just hope we good this year, cause
Oh,
just
they're
cause,
definitely gonna be good.
but just cause you good one year, don't mean you're gonna be good the next year. The Commanders went to the NFC Championship the year before last. Last year,
They got a frail quarterback. When you got a quarterback like, uh, uh, seem like he take care of himself. Plus, he has some size on him, and he got great escapability, and he can fling that football. So, I think he's gonna be okay. I think the Bears should be in a position to battle for that first seed again and
yeah,
go to the conference finals this year and hopefully the Super Bowl.
hopefully
Man, that'd be love,
that'd be
man.
crazy.
That'd be crazy, man.
That's our show for today. Thank you for joining. We out.
Peace.